a lot different right there if no did not get bumped off of the high ground. He's going to be kicking himself for that one. But close on their heels, man. You know, I talked about this first through fifth place, only separated right now by 30 points. Cold and Rapid, for the first time, we kind of see them slip out of that top two spot. It's been a while since we have not seen them towards the top. Rough little go for them in that game right there. But still, here's the crazy thing. All five of these teams going into the last three games, any one of them could win it.
Yeah, I mean, even look at Agers and Ritual, right? 467 right behind Cold Rapid, a single point. Even Acorn and Bolts, 455. And Acorn and Bolts get a third place, 5 elims in that game, right? Like, this is absolutely going to come down to the wire. Right now, there is no clear in a way like, hey, you know, this team is ahead by 100 points and they're just flying. It's like every team right now on NA in this top 10 is shining, right? For different reasons and at different times. So I'm almost wondering, like, now that all of these trios or duos, excuse me, the top 5 are firing on all cylinders, where do we go from here, Kelly? Where do we go with 3 games left?
I mean, for Acorn and Bolts, I think that today, for the start of day 2, it was a little bit rough. We saw them only place out of 11th yesterday, and then today starting it off, getting a 12th and then a 32nd place. And we actually saw them for the first time getting storm damage, which they didn't take out all for day 1. So obviously having these tiny changes that we've already seen them make and now seeing them back in the leaderboard vivid, that's what I want to see out of Acorn and Bolts.
Yeah, we'd love to see them kind of make some sort of resurgence, but no time to talk. I'm excited. I want to get back into the games.
Oh, man. Jacob PR, MDF. We got a competition on our hands, boys. Take it away. Bring the hype.
We definitely do. And I mean, we have the best jobs in the world. We get to sit here and watch this go down in real time. Y'all see it in about 3-minute delay, Jacob, but my gosh, it is so good right now.
No, it's definitely been exciting for sure. Our last 3 FNCS majors before this were decided by 4 or less eliminations. Yeah, the point is a little bit more spread than that. But the way this one is edging out to be, we got another photo finish on our hands. I'm strapped up, ready to go. I'm literally at the edge of my seat right now.
Yeah, that's right. You know, my attention is really starting to shift towards that top 6. We are looking at a 50-point difference between 6th and 1st place. Javi and Aminish, one of the most underrated teams now, are somehow finding themselves in the conversation for a championship run, and no one is playing perfect so far. But I hear the battle bus, so let's see it one more time.
3 games left, Monster. Just 3 games remaining in this tournament. And already for the last 3 games that we've seen that leaderboard shuffle up so much, from Cold and Rapid being in first, Curve and Veno having a chance to now Peterbot and Poyo being on top. And even that race at the bottom for the bubble, the top 13, 2 points separates going to Dusseldorf and having to go and try one more time.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. Teams like Clix and Higgs now are suddenly finding themselves in a whole different type of scenario, right? Where they have to fight for being in the top 13 at this point. Trying to get the championship win is starting to be pushed out of the question. Curve and Veno, though, switching up their strategy a bit, opting to go a little bit more aggressively to the north side, trying to see maybe if there was something here to be, of course, earned. But look at this. Finds a little Llama. You happy about that one?
Was Curve contested, or did he get those out of the sky? That's just my biggest question.
I don't know.
Yeah, either way, it's just a testament of, like, whether it's the beginning, middle, or end of these games. I don't know what they ate for breakfast, but I need to order me 2 of those because they are just firing on all cylinders. QK, Contrap, they had such a great moment to end the day yesterday. Most of us didn't even know where he came from. That first place, 8 eliminations, that bursted them inside of the bubble. Today, however, hasn't necessarily been going their way, but they are still so close to contention. They just need to close out strong.
You know, what I'm thinking about is Veno and Curve. Veno's probably telling Curve, like, bro, be on the lookout. Do not be surprised if Peter Von Poyo land this, you know? Because their drop is technically big enough. And if you know Veno, he's got that main character energy, right? So does Peterbot. Like, Peterbot, the way he treats Clix in the finals or any other rivalry that's neck to neck, he will definitely land on someone like Veno as well, just because the storyline will be so exciting to watch. And they're all that close right now.
Yeah, 20. Neko just trying to go ahead and get out of a bad spot. Both of them kind of separated. Like Flex got a good opportunity here. Took too long to go ahead and execute on that chance, so they're going to be forced to disengage as Neko reunites along with 20, trying to push them back further and further. And that's the thing about these split drops, to where if you don't go ahead and get those eliminations on the contested drop, it makes finding that loot that much harder. Mako Blanks going ahead and pressing on to Muss outside of the Riptides. They have a good 2v1 opportunity here, but continuously trading shots. Muss not going down without a fight. Another chance there as he lands another big tag, 26 HP, even the knock on the Blanks. He has a chance to 2v1. In comes Liquid as Duo finally arrived. They clean up that elimination, but the party does not stop here. Threats and Veer, who were once inside of the bubble, fell out, are ready to make up for those mistakes early on. They have the Fizz, they have the Shockwave. They're trying to close the gap and figure out exactly where he went. Heard the noise onto Mako, so they're just going to drop down and try to clean up this Elim.
Yeah, doing a great job chasing them down right now. Veer's got full sights here. Threat's got control of the coast as well. Should be another tag, and unfortunately they don't quite find it, but this is still great damage, and they want these points right there. Again, found themselves in the top 10 and then fell within around that 15th place range after slipping out. So Veer and Threat still have some big games to be out here.
Just getting more and more crowded over here towards the Riptides, though. Got Nick and Skinny Cat moving on over. Threats and Veer kind of gave up positioning, chasing for that Elim. Then you have Muss and Liquid on the other side of Riptide. So even though they were able to get the one couple of eliminations there, I don't think they advanced their position all too much. Higgs and Clicks, they get the legendary drop this time out of Wonky Land. Better chance at those rare chests, more gold. And already at their POI, they almost get maxed at that mini game. They have the wonky wheel, so they have everything they need in terms of finding success. And early on, obviously, it is only the first zone. It seems like it is moving on over the western side of the map.
Last time we saw them pull a zone like this, though, Jacob, they did win the game, right? If it came this way. Hicks and Higgs calling on some connects here to try to make something big happen at this point.
Cold and rapid. If you getting that feeling of deja vu at all, I can agree. They're not changing up their strategy. They don't even go underneath Dark Dominion unless they have to. Cold just kind of builds up towards the top. Not only does he have to aim with those shotguns, he's going to be the primary source of finding their surge. Rapid, the big brain, the IGL of this team so far has been rotating them very well in the good portion of the games. But the last two, I think those will be the ones that hurt the most. 10th place, 4 eliminations, 17th place with 1 eliminations, kind of giving up that top spot on the leaderboard.
Agers and Rituals on the other side here. Bit of a quiet rotate for them right now, but close to this Dark Dominion. So I am curious what the strategy here is in the coming moments. They've almost continued to position themselves around some of that competition up on the standings. Acorn and Bolts on the other side. Bolts is very situated right now.
Yeah, I think he looks down towards Wonky Land, but you can kind of see that big base over towards the Ferris wheel. It's fully blocked off for that direction, so no easy peeks from there. Has to look elsewhere. Over towards Latte Landing, though, where Power and Penta make themselves known. At the Reek and Cooper drop spot, back on Orbit towards that launch pad, typically where the primary source of rotation goes through. Cooper down below, tries to go for a cheeky shot on the Power, but he regrets that one momentarily. Pressure continues to fly his way, but Reek was able to find an opening on the Power, gets the shield on just like that. But they're taking so much damage from the Storm itself. Yeah, they have to get Insane Box, heal up with those flashes. They were one shot away from going down.
One Elim separates them from the top 13 lane spot right now. They cannot afford to fall here. Reek and Cooper do enough to push this team off, but at what cost? You saw them, again, healing a bunch, so we can't even tell if they're actually out positive after this exchange right here.
Oh, well, they don't want to get the elimination go for free. They get the good damage on the Power, they Shockwave, they Fizz, they close the distance, and now they get the knock. Instead of cleaning up instantly, they know they're going to take damage from the Storm. Let the Siphon do its thing. Reed's going to go on the chase. Sees Penta trying to run away, and he's just trying to follow suit. Only thing is, he only has 1 Shockwave left, so yep, he's going to have to use the Fizz to really make that Shockwave worth it. getting up on top of that mountain. That's going to give him a huge bird's eye view to try to figure out where Penta actually ran to. Spots the builds in the distance, safe landing into the water. But he is so far away from Cooper now. That gives Penta a 1v1 if he can just figure out it actually is a 1v1.
There's no way. He's off. He's already going right back to the bodies, thinking that they came together. But Cooper's here waiting to catch him. More good damage here. Now, this is starting to attract what seems to be other duos here in the area that are just kind of sticking to their usual rotates right now. So you have to be careful, but there it is. Finally, they clean things up here at the Latte Landing. It'd be a great two-piece elimination for them, giving them that little bit of cushion that they were looking for here. They're not quite safe again inside the top 13 just yet, but they are there now after the 8 points they earned there. Meanwhile, Visual and Braids, what is this? This is a completely different strat.
Even got me shaking my head, scratching it, trying to wonder what went wrong. Typically, we see a team like this spread out on these mountain ranges that you see there in the minimap, and that's how they get a lot of their surge. This time around, maybe trying to wait for somebody to lurk in late, find something. Hopefully, they make a mistake. Timing, if it doesn't work out, though, might put them behind the rest of the curve as QK and Khan find themselves an elimination over here towards Painted Palms. Instead of going on a wild goose chase, though, they're going to let that solo player run away. Maybe they could turn back and get the elimination later. We know we're going to go for a reboot eventually. But for QK and Khan, man, this is going to be a good start to the game. Get that damage early. And once you got that Storm Surge damage early, it kind of opens up flexibility to be able to focus on the rotation instead of just getting damage.
Yeah, talk about those eliminations, too. I'm going to be keeping close eyes on Visuals and Breeds, too, because like you said, that is such a massive risk for them to take here, waiting inside the base, hoping to ambush someone. And then you look at the map. Look at how much distance there is between other players. It, again, from here looking at it, might not pay off. We'll just have to see. Peterbot Boya, though, back to the same trusty strategy, keeping this huge surge tower. This just seems to work out a lot better for them. And then pushing teams that they tend to weaken on the way. And Adrian is one of the few down here at the Dark Dominion. So we saw them rotate past this. They didn't go around to actually contest pull the Rapid, of course. And shots coming in from Peterbot's duo up top.
Yeah, they spotted that one out quick. Saw the surge base, saw the window open. Unlike some of the other surge bases where there is no top on their base, you can kind of, crouch, uncrouch, peek over, not really give yourself away. But Peterbot built it in a way to where it's impossible to get shockwaved on for free. So usually we always talk about Peterbot and Boyle hunting teams down. I'm getting in the back of my head. Maybe they're prepared if worse comes to worse. That happens to them. They are the team to beat after 8 games so far. I should say 9 games. We're here in game 10. Let's see if that lead goes away. Muzz and Sphinx over towards Humble Hills. Zone moving on over towards Squibbly Shores. We talked about last time Clicks and Higgs had a zone move over in this favor. I think everybody here on this side of the map has just been gifted a little bit of opportunity, which includes Muzz and Sphinx, who's currently positioned 8th on the leaderboard.
Done really good today, too. 2nd place in that first game, 12th in the mid-10th, right? So a lot of in-game appearances so far for Muzz and Sphinx. Bucky and Zen. On pace right now. Great opportunity here to find some Tasman from that Calm. Zone's going to be coming in shortly, so going to make quick work of this team here and get going themselves.
Watching this sometimes, you just got to have a lot of patience because there's a lot of moments to where you typically would think, I got to rotate to zone. I don't want to take the damage. I want to beat other teams there. But sometimes it's just more beneficial, especially if you have the white HP heals, to go ahead and just fight for your time. Let the Storm do its thing. Force other players at their hands, depending on what situation they're in. Especially if you have a little bit more control of your games. Curve and Veno, a different approach already. In the last couple games, we see them very, very early on try to be the team on the high ground and really condition the rest of the lobby. This time around, just like we saw Visuals and Braids, taking a whole different approach. Slowing things down and just minimizing the risk of them actually getting eliminated.
They do already have 2 eliminations, too, so they're feeling pretty good about their overall damage, but as we start talking about the way this zone played out, it's going to be Clicks and Higgs who have this monstrous base set up here at the Wonky Land, as the zone has favored them for quite some time here. And there's plenty of extra heals to work with as well, so he's going to have to pick and choose here what they want to and take it on the road with them.
Plenty of time to wait. Zone is pulling towards the south. They have their wonky wheel. They have their combination of both the fizz and the shockwave to really dodge a lot of the teams, the earlier portions of that zone, kind of move out of render distance, make it easier for them to move in. And you see the zone is kind of pulling off the shores of Squibbly over into more of the mainland. And this is where you do have a few different mountain ranges that will be in play. So rotations being quick, that is of the essence here. And that's where you see now for all those other players that have waited until this zone to try to move their way in. You're seeing Cold and Rapid. They're pulling that edge of the zone. Instead of going straight in, they know this side of the map is more than likely uninhabited by a lot of the players. So they're just going ahead, taking a slow approach yet again. They don't seem to be in a worry, and they don't seem to be desperate to make any big plays.
Yep, and they got little bushes to play with as well here. So with the zone coming back their way, look at that. They have a nice little ambush set up there. Lots of teams rotating in. Peterbot still finds himself safe in the positioning here. So long as they found their damage, they'll be just fine. Agers and Ritual haven't really moved either since rotating their last position here. They're only 83 above, so this is a much more precarious situation to be in.
Yeah, it might look good. It might look good now with the damage being above the threshold, but you know as well as I do, the way that some of these games have been going, you'll be above in one zone and then instantly fall below in the next. So we need to get down to a certain minimum of players for each and every one of these zones as the game does progress until it eventually does turn off down to 40 players overall. So they're really playing, tiptoeing with that line when it comes to Surge. Cold and Rapid, similar situation, only 143 above, and it's not easy for them to rotate from point A to point B. About 30 damage is going to get taken off of that Surge.
One thing to note, though, they were max material coming out of that storm there, so they are in a prime position here. Don't let that material count fool you. They are getting late into the end game here. A little bit of storm pull luck here, and you'll be in a great spot to be in. Overall, though, Peterbot and Boyo, the same can be said for them. They have this high ground base. They've had the zone this entire time. They're finding a tremendous amount of damage from this advantageous spot, and now they get to shockwave out and play into the Dark Dominion. So this is actually Cold and Rapid's draw spot. And again, normally when you get the draw, obviously we've seen those teams turn these opportunities, if you will, into huge wins, if not better. But again, that is to be determined as now we're starting to push that end game. Then on Curve, no pressure so far. They've just been sitting on the vending machine trying to see if anyone was willing to come this way. Clearly, some people got a little too close to the fire and got burned here. It's Magma and G Monster. This is another Venno and Curve elimination onto the same team. They just can't catch a break anymore.
Yeah, and I know the game's still going on, but with those eliminations there, they take first place in the tournament. Placement points haven't set in. It's going to continue to jumble, but it goes to show how close the leaderboard actually is through and through. Am I watching a replay? Am I watching another clip? Peterbot and Boyo are just finding opportunity after opportunity, and it's on to Veer. That is going to be a heartbreak right there if Threats cannot clutch out some good points in this game. He is only 4 points away from that bubble.
Yeah, they were doing so well after finding those two elims, and now lose your teammate kind of here is going to be that much more tougher. Well, you have to make at least 20 or 30 points. As we were jumping away, I think I saw Venno find another elimination there too, so the rotates are clearly working well. Yep, here it is. We get to jump in with that. They're at 5 elims now, Jacob. Things are just starting to get really pieced together for them. Take a look here. They find the lobby focus onto Jack. They get the elim credit.